My name is Audrey and I am Hilltown Land Trust's 2020-2021 TerraCore Land Stewardship Coordinator. Hilltown Land Trust is a nonprofit land conservation organization that was founded in 1986. Originally run all by volunteers, we have since expanded to have 2 full-time staff. Since our founding, we have conserved more than 5,000 acres on over 45 properties throughout our 13-town service area. Thanks to the support of conservation-minded landowners and our generous donors, we have been able to protect this land through a combination of ownership and conservation restrictions. Hilltown Land Trust owns 8 properties and has 35 properties where we hold a conservation restriction, or CRs, on land that is privately owned. Conservation restrictions are legal agreements between a landowner and a conservation organization that permanently prohibit certain activities on a given property. Once established, they stay with the deed in perpetuity, protecting the land from unwanted development for all of time. Representatives from Hilltown Land Trust are required to physically monitor each of these conserved properties at least once a year to ensure that the land is being protected for conservation purposes and the terms legally set in the conservation restriction document are not being violated. These monitoring visits are basically a yearly check-in with the landowner and their conserved property. During these visits, it is essential to document any natural or human changes in property conditions over time, build landowner relationships, detect potential issues early on, record any future plans for the property, including changes in ownership, and note any other questions or concern that the landowner has. Recording potential and questionable violations is an extremely important part of the yearly monitoring visit. Fieldwork and property monitoring visits are the core components of the Land Stewardship Coordinator's role at Hilltown Land Trust. The Land Stewardship Coordinator coordinates with volunteers and landowners when to go out on these yearly monitoring visits. With a new TerraCore Land Stewardship Coordinator coming onto the team each fall, we rely heavily on our volunteers from previous years to keep track of our properties and bring our new Land Stewardship Coordinators up to speed every year. Volunteers are encouraged to commit to monitoring the same property or properties for at least 2 years so that their familiarity with the land and the landowner can provide consistency in reporting. These are the steps to monitoring a property: collect and review property information, contacting the landowner or co-holder and scheduling a visit, assembling any necessary site visit supplies, performing the site visit, compiling and submitting the yearly report.